Well, baby, I'm on it with a bottle of wine and an old dirt road. Are you ready to go? Hey, thanks everybody for joining us today on Live Music Nation podcast, County Fair edition. We are with Erika Ediger Connelly from Scott County Fair. Erika, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you, Jake?
Good. Erika, give us a little background. You've already told us earlier you've got some kids to get off the school bus, so that's exciting. Where did you grow up, and what's your background with the fair?
I grew up in Belle Plaine, Minnesota. My background with the fair is my grandfather showed Charolais cattle along with my dad and my uncle. So been going to the fair since I've been little and have had the opportunity to now become the fair manager a year and a half ago.
Wow. So how old is your fair? Give us some history on that.
It's about 165 years old. It was founded back in 1872.
Okay.
That's now currently been on our fairgrounds where its current location is since 1972.
Well, baby, I'm on it with a bottle of wine and an old dirt road. Are you ready to go?
And it was known as the Agricultural Fair at that time, and has now been known as the Scott County Fair since the early 1900s.
Is it crazy to think that you're a part of something that's been around for that long?
It is because, you know, you look at all of the founding fathers before us and what they've created, and we're on 80 acres of country land, basically, you know, located 7 miles from Belle Plaine and about 1.5 miles outside of Jordan. So it's still rural enough, but it's still out in the country.
Give us an idea of Scott County. What's its population roughly?
Oh, goodness. You know, a guesstimate, probably 400 to 500,000.
Okay.
So just for Scott County, it's a pretty decent sized county.
Decent sized county. All right, very good. Well, hey, so you mentioned that it was an agricultural ag 4-H type fair to start with. What has that evolved into now?
So over the years, the fair has changed dramatically. I mean, it used to just be, you know, all about 4-H and FFA and agriculture, and now it's grown into being family entertainment with grandstand events and smaller stage events. We've incorporated a draft horse show now over the last several years. We do a ranch rodeo every year. We have the Machinery Hill, which still takes place. There's lots of creative arts activities going on. So there's just so much more to see. You know, and there's a lot of people who have never seen animals before, so it's a good opportunity for them to come out and check out our livestock barns and be able to go through. We have a Miracle of Birth Center, you know, so people can see live births going on throughout the fair week, you know, and that's a big hit for a lot of people. So
for sure. What is it? And I guess not necessarily what is it, but because your fair has expanded so much over the years, how do you keep that basis of where it really started with the ag and the 4-Hers? How do you keep that going?
Well, we try to involve as much youth as we can through our 4-H program. You know, we're in a growth period right now, so a lot of our 4-Hers are on the younger side, and obviously, you know, that takes time to rebuild the programs, but it's just getting people out and getting them involved in the community. I mean, we love to have new volunteers. We love to have new sponsors. We appreciate all of the sponsors that we do have. And without them, you know, we wouldn't be able to do some of the things that we can do, you know, by bringing in some new entertainment and, you know, broadening our grandstands a little bit. So we're just, you know, very lucky to have such good support through Scott County.
Now, Erika, you mentioned that your grandfather and your family were a big part of this fair. What's your greatest memory as a child of the county fair?
You know, it would be going to watch my grandpa show his Charolais cattle. I mean, they were his pride and joy, and he was like no other person I ever knew with, you know, raising animals. You know, he would walk out into his pasture and the cattle just knew it was him. You know, and they'd walk right up to him, and he was like they were his best friends. And, you know, just seeing the growth from, you know, when I was little to watch the progress and how his animals, you know, got better over time. And, you know, and that's the whole thing you want to be able to grow with what you're doing. And, you know, it was fun to watch and see that happen.
For sure.
He was
for
a
sure.
very, very good person, and loved showing cattle. So
That's good to hear. And it's good that you have those memories so that you kind of have a vision of what you want those youngsters who are now coming up in 4-H to be able to experience and see as well.
Right.
Do you guys have a sale at the end of the week for producers that want to sell, for the 4-Hers that want to sell their livestock?
So yes, there is every weekend of the fair on the Saturday afternoon, they do the 4-H ribbon auction, which I am fortunate to be a part of. My family has been part of that auction since it started. My grandpa was an auctioneer. My dad is an auctioneer. My sister and myself and my husband are all auctioneers. So we've been a big part of that 4-H auction since it's been going. So yes, we do, we have the opportunity to raise some money for the 4-H kids so they can go on to the state fair and apply it towards, maybe a little bit of college tuitions if they're getting, some extra. So that's been a real big fun help, so.
It really is one of the greatest things that I enjoy at county fairs, is because you just it really is a premium product. You know where it's coming from. You get to see it in front of you. You get to see how it's taken care of, how it was cared for. And then, of course, you have your donors who are willing to pay a premium price because they know that money's staying in the community. And it's really one of the greatest things that a county can
exactly.
do.
And it started out back in the day where the buyer would actually get the animal.
Yeah.
And now it's turned over to just a ribbon auction. So, the kids are still keeping their animal. So, there's been a big change on that front. But we still have great supporters for the 4-H auction, which is amazing.
Yeah, no, for sure. For sure. All right. Couple fun questions real quick. As a concert goer, anywhere that you've ever seen a show your entire life, what's the greatest concert you've ever seen in your life, Erika?
Mine would have to be Alabama.
Okay.
I saw them down in southern Minnesota, and it was a smaller venue, and we were 100 feet from the stage, and there were maybe 300 people there total. And it was just the best concert because it was so personable, and I would love to go see them again sometime.
Yeah, no, for sure. All right. So second and last question, final question of the day. Dead or alive, you could bring any act to the Scott County Fair. Who would you bring?
I would bring Guns N' Roses.
Ooh.
I think they would draw a very, very nice crowd, and they've been around forever, and it's just kind of I think they'd have a good fit out in the countryside.
They would definitely raise your fair some money. That's for sure.
Yes.
That's for sure. Erika, Edgar, Connelly, Scott County Fair. Thank you for being on us. County Fair Edition Live Music Nation podcast. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Jake.
You bet. Well, baby, I'm on it.